This is episode 12 of JP's Fantastic Grinds, and as you can see, this is going to be for Metallica's Kill 'Em All album. I've got two copies. The one here is a very early pressing, and I just kind of want to show the differences between the two. I think this might be a third press. It's not the first batch, but it is on Megaforce. As you can see. No barcode. The Megaforce label. But there's definitely a difference. So this other one I have, it's made for Walmart pressing on Fire Engine Red vinyl. And you can see the photo on the back is darker. Like the earlier pressing had a reddish, more red going on in the photo. And this is the label for the early press I have. Silver label, but not the very first press. It's like third, but. And the insert I have from the Walmart pressing with the lyrics and some early photographs. I don't even know if Dave Mustaine is on. Got some lyrics. I'm not sure if Mustaine is in, even though Mustaine wrote some songs. Is he in? I think they just took him out altogether because they got Kirk Hammett. So anyway, I wanted to show off this is the Walmart vinyl. Came out a few years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. But this is their Fire Engine Red. Thought that was pretty nice. Because my early pressing is not in the best shape. I bought it used. Skips a few times here and there. But this, for people who know Metallica and heavy metal in America, I mean Metallica and Slayer, kind of the earliest versions of metal bands out of the United States. A lot of other stuff was, British. Of course, these guys were heavily inspired by Motorhead and Venom and all that. It says it was released July of '83, recorded May of '83. I'm sure I'll get a copyright violation for posting this, but I had to include this. A lot of purist Metallica fans will say this is their purest metal album. But of course they went on to become one of the biggest metal bands in the world. I'm sure that was their goal. R.I.P. Cliff Burton. Here's a picture of Mustaine. Of course he is credited with co-writing several songs. And of course he was booted out before this album was released. I guess he had some issues going on, so they decided to part ways. One of the reasons, another reason why I wanted to apply this to this today is September 22nd at 1:08 in the morning. And I'm actually wearing my only Metallica shirt right now. So this has hit the lights. And the shirt I'm wearing is actually the Four Horsemen. I don't know if I can get a view of that in a second here, but of course it's referring to the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. It's a biblical reference to the end times. And a lot of people say that that's what's happening now. So, just a quick notice what's supposed to happen tomorrow. The UN is supposed to somehow decide on a two-state solution for Palestine and Israel. And somebody pointed out that at the same time they're going to be doing that, in Israel, they're going to start the Feast of Trumpets. So there's like a 7-hour time difference. And I guess around noon or so, or 11:30, they're going to have this UN meeting, and simultaneously they're going to be kicking off the Feast of Trumpets, Rosh Hashanah, in Israel. And some people are saying this is fulfilling end times Bible prophecy, and a lot of people are thinking the rapture is happening this week. And I mean, it's just bizarre to even think that we could possibly be living in the final, I don't know, days, months, years of this. You know, people have been around for a while now on this planet. Could we actually be reaching the conclusion of this bizarre reality here on this planet? I guess we'll find out. This is the Four Horsemen. I'll have to cut this pretty short, but definitely wanted to get it to go into the Four Horsemen. It says it was written by Hetfield, Ulrich, and Mustaine. I guess the only track that was credited to Cliff was track 5. Pulling Teeth was credited to Burton. Anyway, yeah, this is just a classic album from the early days of American thrash metal. I mean, Metallica and Slayer, I mean, I'm sure there were other bands, but those two bands pretty much established metal in America. And, you know, there's a band called Death. I'm not sure exactly when they came out, but I'm sure I'll get a lot of... maybe somebody will comment and correct me, but anyway. Had to include this classic album. R.I.P. Cliff Burton.